how badly they want to beat the opponent. But then on the field, the skill set's a little different. Obviously, we're going to use Chris in a different way. I mean, it's I'm sure that's pretty obvious to all our opponents that we're going to try and use them in a different way.
Mike, what makes Zach and Chris an ideal 1-2 combo, not only on the field but off the field?
Geez, when you said Chris, I was like, Chris? Strevy?
Strevy.
Okay, there we go. Well, they're both fierce competitors. There's a lot of similarities there in terms of the way they want to, how badly they want to beat the opponent. But then on the field, the skill set's a little different. Obviously, we're going to use Chris in a different way. I mean, it's I'm sure that's pretty obvious to all our opponents that we're going to try and use them in a different way. But they certainly complement each other. I mean, we'll see what Buck puts together out there, but I'm sure it'll look pretty good.
As for the two young quarterbacks you have in camp, Eric and Terry, what have you learned about those guys so far?
Yeah, I think it's still early in the process. Now that you got Dietrich Nichols and Evan Holm and guys like that, Biggie and guys like that running around now, this is where you get a better picture of what they can do. But yeah, we obviously like them, bring them in here, and the objective is to get them, up to speed enough that they can get in those preseason games and show us what they can really do when the opponent is actually going to try and hit them.
And the new running backs here, Michael, Chris, Ike.
Yep.
Obviously
fresh off a mini camp.
Big kid, fast kid.
Yep. Very athletic, very fit. Just probably just unfortunate circumstances, in his last year in terms of maybe the number of carries he was going to get. That happens, but once again, I like when you hear the stories and you find out a guy he knows that he might not be as involved, and he sticks it out and he finds other ways to help his team. Those kind of things carry a lot of weight in our minds, so I'm looking forward to getting to know him a little better. Really just met him today in terms of him coming in today. We liked how he spoke to us, and you like what you see. For the limited number of touches, you like what you see on film. And once again, I think it's the intangibles of decisions he's made that will endear us to him, right, besides his physicality.
Obviously, you drafted him as a running back, but he has the size of a guy that could probably play full back, and he said he's kind of dabbled in that before, and special teams, obviously. Just what did he maybe bring outside of running back?
I think he can do a lot of different things. It's up to us to put him in those positions, and once again, in talking to him prior to drafting him, he's going to be willing, which is, I think, a big thing.
What did he tell you today that you liked?
Pardon me?
What did he tell you today that you liked?
Like I said, I just talked to him in the equipment room while he was getting his helmet sized. Just said hello to him. But in conversations before the draft, we talk about you got to bring up the situations why, the number of carries he had, and that may have been limited, and then you find out once again that he probably knew that was going to happen, but he stuck it out. In a day and age in the NCAA where everybody just packs up and leaves year after year after year, and we got a couple guys that chose to stick it out with the team, and even though they knew that they might see limited action, and not just that, they found other roles for themselves. I mean, you like that in kids these days.
He's maybe a bit behind since he was at NFL camps, but he sees that actually those camps got him really ready for this one.
Yeah, like I said, he's fit. Yeah. And I mean, he was off the charts in terms of the testing, right? But he's in good shape.
He used to be a PA guy. The PA is grieving the Sean Lemon thing. Mm-hmm. And the league has put out a release today saying that they're so disappointed in that appeal or that grievance because the decision is so fundamental to the integrity of the league. I don't expect you to comment on those specifics, but I'm just wondering how important an issue you see this as these days.
I think, as gambling has really come to the forefront in, single game betting, and I don't even know how to describe it, but there's certainly, you see every sportscaster is sponsored by some betting company. And I would echo, what you read me, I take that on faith, that's what was said, but I would think that I would certainly, I've enjoyed a fairly long relationship with the CFL, and I prefer to go forward keeping the integrity of the league intact. So I don't see any place in this league for people that bet on our football games, bet on their own football games. I think that's, it's just the way I feel. I really take a lot of pride in this league and the integrity that this league has had, and for the length of time that this league has been around. It's an iconic Canadian organization, right? I don't think it should be called into question with this new wave of gambling that's going on.
Jake says that guys get a series of videos to watch on their own time about the rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a team presentation the way, say, the drug policy is.
Has to be completed nonetheless. So.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if it needs to be more emphasized. The way things are these days.
I don't know. Like I said, the majority of society doesn't need education and rules to follow the rules, right? I would think that holds true in a lot of different areas, not just sports betting.
Does the team do anything on that front? Like, do you tell guys, hey, don't do this?
Well, they do the mandatory course, and then yes, it will be brought up at some point.
I wanted to ask you about Miles Fox. You've had him for a while now. What are your impressions of him?
Yeah, he's as quick as they come and strong to boot, right? So it's pretty neat to watch him, how quickly he can get to spaces and through spaces with his strength. So he arrives very quickly, and then he's got a lot of power, a lot of strength to do something once he gets there. But it's really the quickness is really interesting. How jitterbuggy is to, I don't even know, is that a word?
Jitterbug-ish?
Yeah, jitterbug-ish.
Jitterbug-like?
Yeah. Jitterbug-like. Yeah, you don't want to say squirrel. Squirrels move quickly too, but you don't want to call a guy a squirrel. So yeah, he's, for that size, how quickly his feet move is pretty cool.
He is massive. He's not tall, but he is massive.
Yeah.
Like, he fits down the hallway here. I kind of don't know with those shoulders.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you see him as? Where do you see him going, progressing?
Well, he's competing for a spot to, get reps on game one, like all these guys are. I think you understand that we rotate our defensive line. So call him what you will, part of a rotation. He's fighting for a spot in the rotation. Yeah.
This one's just kind of somewhere else. I have not had a lot of guys who are bad interviews. They all seem very interesting and, speak very well. And
we'll have to fix that.
They very distinctly don't tell secrets, which is a shame. But is that something that you prioritize? Is that a byproduct of something you prioritize as an organization in the scouting process?
No, I would prioritize the other way. I'd want them to be bad interviews, honestly. Eventually, this will get them in trouble.